What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Versus. Today we're got a hell of a show. A show about absentees. What? Oh, sorry, I just chugged a Red Bull. Absentee dads, right next to Father's Day. That's right. Two epic movies about dads trying to redeem their relationships. I'm talking about Over the Top and Real Steel. That's what we're doing today. But before we get into that, I need you guys to share, subscribe, like, all those things. We got Real Steel versus Over the Top. I don't know how I got them to arm wrestle, but I made it happen. To celebrate these two epic classics in cinema, I've got my two friends, actually my three friends, in the house. What is happening, fellas? Welcome to another episode of Versus.
Don't steal my thing.
What up?
Yeah, don't be stealing his thing. His thing is this. We got John in the house. How you doing, John? And we got Ammo,
What's going on?
our buddy Adrian, otherwise known as Ammo, in the house. Man, how are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing great, man.
Dude, I'm stoked you came over. I've been wanting you to come and hang out for a long time. Curtis, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing amazing. I am doing fucking amazing, Clint. Welcome
Hell-
to Versus.
Hell yeah. And John, how are you doing? I'm coming after Adrian.
No, you're doing
Oh,
this.
wrong side.
Oh,
This is my
that
first
was
time.
weird. Okay. All right. Well, let's say hello to the chat today. We got Jedi Master EJ who says, "Awesome. I can relate to absentee dad. That's why I try to be better than the way I am." Well, I'm not making fun of absentee dads by any means. I just thought, we're like, what are the commonalities between these two movies? We're like, well, they're both dads trying to patch up the relationship with their kids. I was like, they're the same movie. What the hell? That's when we had that realization. Over the Top and Real Steel, the same movie, and that's what we're going to compare them today. We're going to find out ultimately who is the better and the worst dad. That's what we're going to figure out. Who else we got in the house? Hey, we got Bobbi. Boo, 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 boo. Something happened with my effects, and my air horn isn't working anymore. This is good news for Bobbi. And then we got James in the house. What's up, James?
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, 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 pew. This
I'll
is
do
gonna
it
be
for you.
this is gonna be a good one. Yeah, thanks, dude. You're the new guy.
I'm the new soundboard.
Yeah, I just don't understand what happened. Super weird. Man, that's weird.
There we go.
I'll just do it the old-fashioned
Oh man,
way.
now I'm unemployed.
Yeah. Well, man.
Another job lost to automation.
Wow, wow, wow.
Well, let's talk about these movies real quick. And okay, get that out of here. Curtis, so how you doing, man? Are you we're having a pretty fun day today. We got we've had great everything entertainment news that we did, and that was a lot of fun. And now we're doing Versus, where we're talking about crazy movies.
Yeah.
And
We're doing Versus for our Father's Day weekend. We didn't plan this. It just worked out this way, and it worked out kind of well. These are two good Father's Day movies besides the absentee-father stuff. But I was telling Clint before the show, I tell my wife every year Father's Day is not really a thing. It's not like that's not a holiday that really counts. And she every year she's like, no, we're gonna make it a big deal. Like it's gonna be a thing. And so whenever I was getting ready for the news show, she's telling the kids like, all right, we're gonna go to the store while Dad does the show. We're gonna go pick him out something for Father's Day. And my son's like, oh God, I don't want to go to the store. And then my daughter's looking through her sticker box and finds the little spider rings that they have for Halloween. And she's like, I got it. And she goes over and she goes, Happy Father's Day, and gives me the spider ring. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. She's like, okay, like done and done. And then my wife's just sitting there cracking up. And I was like, now you remember for Mother's Day, There's a whole conversation in the car, and they're like, "We have to get Mom breakfast in bed, and we have to get her this, and we have to get her that." Like Mother's Day is a big deal.
Yeah.
Father's Day is like, what kind
Yeah.
of crap do I have in my pockets?
Honestly,
here you go,
I don't-
Pop.
I don't even want breakfast in bed. I think it's weird.
Yeah,
Laying in bed, bring you.
You're like,
I don't want to eat this on my bed.
I don't want
"I'm
crumbs in
spilling
my bed.
shit all over myself. Like,
You want ants? That's how you get ants.
Right?
That Archer meme. I don't know if you've seen that.
that's yeah.
Yeah. There's like sprinkle footprints of powdered sugar on the floor to the chimney to make kids think that Santa came. And then it's like, you want ants? That's how you get ants. It's fucking hilarious.
I tell you what, John Brzink wouldn't have any of that shit.
Well, tell us who John is real quick for those who don't know who this guy underneath you is.
Well,
First time I've said that.
won't be the last, baby. That's if Zac Efron calls. Now, the over the top didn't just happen. Like, okay, nobody was like, let's make a fucking arm wrestling movie. Okay, like that it seems like that now. Like, you know, arm wrestling is a huge sport in the rest of the world, and it was in America. This is it's so funny to me, like rewatching this movie. In the rest of the world, arm wrestling is recognized just as much, and it is an Olympic sport, and most of the time it's an Olympic sport. It's a recognized sport. Other countries, like literally the government funds arm wrestling and stuff like that. It's a huge deal. In America, it's not. And Over the Top was cashing in on that. Like, Over the Top came out when arm wrestling was part of ABC's Wide World of Sports. And it was the #1 segment on ABC's Wild World of Sports from 1969 to 1985. Okay? It was a big deal. Like, arm wrestling was a legitimate sport in the U.S. It still is across the rest of the world. And we wonder, why did it die? Okay? Like, this movie happened because of arm wrestling. Like, and what happened? You know what happened? John fucking Brzink happened. This is John Brzink. Okay? John Brzink is the best arm wrestler of all time. And he is from the great United States of America. Okay? He won his first title in his weight class in 1983 at the age of 18. Okay? John is 6'1", 210, maybe 225. Okay, so taller than me, but not even bigger than me. And he is known as the Giant Killer. Like, the guys that you see Stallone put down in the movie, he put down. It's amazing what this guy did. So he won his first title in 1983. He has they don't even know the full count. He has over 500 titles in arm wrestling. They don't even know the full count. He's only been beaten a handful of times, literally a handful, less than 5. And that's in his later years, like now, by former champions. He was undefeated for 25 years. That's why America got bored with arm wrestling.
Damn.
Nobody beat this guy, period, for 25 years. So his success doomed the U.S. to not caring about arm wrestling, because it's like, John's going to win. Like, nobody cares. And just for a heads up, in February of this year, after 7 years of retirement, he decided he's not going to hit the super heavyweights anymore. He's not going to go after he's not going to be a giant killer anymore. But in February of this year, he went back and won his weight class again. So he's still the champion of his weight class at the age of 58. He beat fucking 20-year-olds at the age of 58. This guy is a amazing American athlete, and he should be appreciated more.
That's
saying a lot, man. I feel like we should talk about John for another 10 minutes. What else?
Clink's comment is
Did
typical Clink.
Did you see Chris Clink's comment? Chris Clink was
he quoting John Brzink?
No, he said
he wasn't. I don't care.
Pretty sure the documentary is shorter than Curtis's notes. sick burn. No, dude, that is
No less amazing. No less amazing.
it is amazing for somebody to be a champion for 25 years. That's
undefeated for 25 years, and not just like people out, like monsters outside of his weight class, guys that are like 5 and 6 times bigger than him, like outside of his weight class, and he would just destroy them. It's unbelievable. Watch the documentary. It's amazing.
I'm gonna have to do that. I will have to do that. Well, let's see. And what a great cast. And let's talk about these movies. All right, Over the Top. We're gonna start with Over the Top. We're gonna start with Over the Top. Okay, this is a Sylvester Stallone classic, dude. I grew up watching this movie probably from like 10 years old. A tale in which a truck driver with a lucrative sideline in arm wrestling takes his estranged 12-year-old son on the road after the boy's mother falls seriously ill. The trucker is beginning to reach out to the boy as the pair head for Vegas and the Arm Wrestling World Championships, but the lad's grandfather screws everything up. That's a condensed version. That's a condensed version. That's Over the Top. What a fantastic movie, man! Like I've seen this movie no less than 20 times, and I haven't seen it since I was probably early teens. You know what I mean? Like it's been a long time since I've seen this.
That's
movie.
funny because I was thinking about that when I was watching it on how long it's been since I've seen it. It's probably been about the same.
I didn't even remember half the movie, to be honest, and I've
neither.
seen it a million times. And back when I was a kid, I used to watch every Sylvester Stallone movie over and over and over and over again. Yeah, such a good movie. The cast was great. You got Hugh Jackman, Evangeline Lilly, Dakota Goyo plays the kid, who I thought was Anakin for a second, and on and on and on. But it's great. Anthony Mackie was in it.
Kevin Durand, who's phenomenal in anything he's in.
No. Clint, you're mixing movies. Be
Oh,
careful.
shit, I'm looking at the wrong cast. But yeah, both casts are great. Both movies are great. It's the same movie. I'm just getting confused. I just got confused because it was the same movie. But here, what's really funny is I could read the next. I'm going to read the Real Steel synopsis now.
Since we're looking at it.
Since they don't know that. Yeah. The feature film where a truck driver drives his son to Vegas. I'm just kidding. The film features a former boxer who's played by Hugh Jackman, whose sport is now played by robots. He's a boxer. Now they have robots doing the boxing. He must build and train a robot with his son. Real Steel was in development for several years before production began on June 24th. Basically, a ripoff of Over the Top with robots is what it says on the internet.
Forgot the Rocky part.
Yeah, and it's it's pretty much a nod to Rocky 2. Not Rocky 2, where with Apollo Creed,
Rocky
but
as well.
Rocky also. In an apparent nod to Rocky 1976, the world champion robot is named Zeus, while in the older movie, the champion is named Apollo Creed. In Greek mythology, Apollo is the son of Zeus. So there's a little nod for you. That's just one of the many bits of trivia that I have gathered for you today on this. Interesting bit of trivia of this is that Hugh Jackman was given the script, and he read this script to his son as a bedtime story. Like, he was reading this, and his son was so captivated by this story and so into it that he said, you know what, I got to do this role. And that's why he picked this role, which is pretty cool if anybody who's got kids. Let's see, what do we got in the chat going on here? Oh my God, in the shower with my glasses on, I tried to get done so quickly. I had a friend who tried to take a selfie in the shower, and actually the screen kept fogging up. She was having selfie steam issues.
Oh my God. I saw it coming.
Yeah. Oh yes. Okay. Sorry. You said glasses fogged up. You took me there. You just like put the bad joke in
For
my
the-
lap.
Hey,
the one of us,
definitely dad joke
for the-
appropriate.
yeah, for the one of us who is not a dad, like that's the best
Yeah.
dad joke so far. Like,
How ironic, the one that's not a dad. It's got the dad jokes.
Yeah. I've got a lot of them. I got a lot of them. Oh, let's see here. Oh, I had some more. The film is based on Steel, a 1956 short story by I Am Legend author
No, it's
Richard
not.
Matheson.
No, it's not.
Real Steel?
Go ahead, continue.
You're talking
But
about
no,
Real
it's not.
Steel?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's based on Rocky and Over the Top. But go ahead.
Here's something interesting. Much of robot boxing fights were motion captured using professional boxers who were supervised by Sugar Ray Leonard. That's
That's pretty
interesting.
cool.
That's cool.
That
That's
is
really
very cool. Yeah, real cool. So, well, cool. Well, now what do you got? You got some more over the top? We decided to bring a little trivia in because it makes it fun. You got any over the top trivia for us?
Oh yeah, if we're going down Factoid Lane,
Factoid Lane. That's I'm gonna make a. This is the format developing. We're gonna start with the synopsis where I read the synopsis to the wrong movie with the right graphic. You know, I'm gonna and then after that we're gonna have a screen that says Factoid Lane. Don't forget that phrase. And then we will go over factoids, and then we will go into game time. So hit me with some more factoids, Curtis.
So in Over the Top, it was the guy who wrote the script had a different name for the kid, but the rewriters of the script decided to name him Michael, so that his name in the movie would be Mike Hawk. Now, say Mike Hawk real fast.
Hey, stop that.
That's exactly why they named him that. I'm Lincoln Hawk, and this is Mike Hawk. That's why they named him that. Literally.
That
Don
can't
Johnson.
Be real.
That's well, it was on. This is from TVOvermind.com. So Don Johnson was the original choice for Lincoln Hawk, not Sylvester Stallone. That's right. I love Don Johnson, but I can see Sly beating these guys. I don't know if I can see Don Johnson beating these guys. Over the Top had its own toy line, which actually makes me want to go out and go
Find them.
Find that.
Yeah.
I really want to find that now. Stallone said it was the most physically demanding role he's had, even more than Rocky, because he had to arm wrestle these guys over and over and over again, and he did it for real on screen.
Yeah.
He did it for real so much, he told the big guy, Bull Hurley, at the end, he's like, we're going to do this for real. And, of course, Bull Hurley is way bigger than Stallone. And he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, the punch in the face scene is real. Stallone didn't want to know when it was coming and really got punched in the face. So that was real.
He told him to punch me in the face. Don't tell me when it's going to happen.
Yeah, he did. He wanted it to be authentic.
Wow.
So the punch in the face is real. And Stallone really, he insisted that it be real. And Stallone really beat Bill Hurley in that arm wrestling match. And Bill Hurley's, you can hear a scream at the end, he dislocated Bill Hurley's shoulder at the end.
I think I remember hearing about that back in the day. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
So that's what I mean. Stallone, Bill Hurley's a big dude, but Stallone is an athlete at his core when it comes to it. And John Brzink is the giant killer, and he just dropped these big old guys like they were nothing. So it is possible. For 25 years, guys, was undefeated in any weight class. Not his weight class, in any weight class for 25 years. So it's possible. It's not make-believe.
I didn't realize this was a triple versus.
Dude,
we're throwing John in there too versus these movies.
Watch Pulling John, the documentary. It's amazing. This guy is unbelievable. And that's why arm wrestling died in America, because he was so dominant. You want
coming for you,
to
bro.
go home with me, John? I'll wrestle whatever part of you want, baby.
Okay, now. Hey, okay, so. So here I got something. We got Midas. Midas's mohawk hairstyle is designed after a Roman centurion helmet. It was also a nod to Clubber Lang in Mr. T's character in Rocky III. So
nice.
so Midas has that mohawk, which is cool. Woo! Pulling John, Bobby. It is a documentary about this guy right here who's jumping. Why are you jumping?
Amazing.
It's weird. Yeah, he was a 25-year
it's a
arm wrestling champion. If you want, we can have Curtis talk about it for a little bit. Curtis? I'm just kidding.
How much time you got? It's on you. It's free on YouTube. It's free on YouTube though, guys. It's free on YouTube. They cut off the end a little bit, but it's you get most of the story. It's amazing.
Awesome. Well, I got an idea.
Yes.
Let's go into game time. What do you say? You go into game time?
A little bit of game time from now.
Okay, let's go into a little bit of game time. All right.
Got some game time over here.
Oh, that means game time. Time to go into game time. Let's go into game time. We have Real Steel versus Over the Top. First question. Who had the best story? The best story. Who had They had the same story.
Yeah, but even though there was a lot of similarities, there were quite a bit of differences too.
There were. Go, Nino, go.
To me, obviously they're both movies are about redemption, right? And making sure that this rough road that this person's been on, that they've got, these fathers, that they're trying to gain back the trust and the love of their child that they haven't seen since they were a baby. But the differences that I noticed, and the funny thing is when I watched Over the Top after having not seen it for years, I realized that it was more about that than arm wrestling. When I was a kid, I thought of it as an arm wrestling movie, right? So as an adult, now that I can actually process plot and dialogue and all that stuff, and it's not boring, all the in-between shit, I actually realized man, yeah, this is straight up just a pretty deep father and son reconnection story and redemption story. But the difference to me is more about just where who the fathers were, because even though they were absent in their kids' lives, they were still there was complete differences. You could tell from the beginning that Hawk was a very soft-spoken, very polite, very caring right from the get-go. They didn't make it seem like he was a deadbeat dad. They just made it seem he was not in the picture. But then you learn further along in the movie that he was still trying to be in the picture because he was sending letters and shit, but they just never made it to the kid. I'm assuming the grandpa, was keeping them from getting to the kid. So that's the difference to me is it when it comes to comparing it to Real Steel, because that dad was clearly kind of a piece of shit. He was super cocky, super fucking, he was selfish and, had a fucking ego. So as far as the best story, the reason why I think Real Steel has the better story is because I feel that redemption it took a lot more to get it because of how shitty of a person he was at the beginning of the movie. You know what I mean?
Real Steel, yeah. He was because he was Hugh Jackman was a douchebag, man, and it's for most of the movie, it took a while for him to become to flip. Where
you want to say something, Clint, don't you? I mean,
Curtis. Whereas Sylvester Stallone wasn't a douchebag.
Yeah.
And the dad was a villain, or the grandpa was a villain the whole time, and but you actually have a change. That doesn't mean it's a better story, though. But
Yeah, I mean, so I know you. I know there was something you want to touch on with what I was saying, Curtis. But like the reason why, to me, it's a better story is because I feel like it was a little bit easier for like that redemption arc for Sylvester's character for Hawk, because he's, as a child looking at him as a father, it'd probably be a lot easier to like win a kid over as far as like trust and like being able to actually have a relationship with someone who's like Hawk's character
Yeah.
versus someone who's like, it was a harder road for those characters in Real Steel to actually have a bond or create a bond and like have a relationship. And I feel like that's a stronger story because it was a harder process.
But it's also a story about the kid having to be deprogrammed. The kid is actually the douchebag in Over the Top, and then he has to turn into a good person. He's been programmed by the shitty grandfather to be an a-hole, and he's been in military school and so all these different things where he's been away from his father his whole life, but like he's a complete jerk for half of the movie until here's all it takes, guys. If you're an adult who has children and you have a young man as your child and you're having a hard time with the relationship with your kid, just let them drive your truck. And everything's fine after that. They'll be smiling the rest of the movie. And then maybe let them arm wrestle some guy with a mullet. And then after that, they might lose the first time, but you talk them into it. Once they win, after that, they're going to be your best friend, your biggest fan, because you let them drive a truck. That's where it tipped. That was the tipping point of that movie. Excellent book, by the way. I don't know. It's a completely different. The opposite is in the other movie, Hugh Jackman is kind of a selfish douchebag, and there's a point where he changes and realizes, hey, I love this kid, and it takes him a while. So it's weird. They have different villains, different bad guys, different good guys in these movies. I wouldn't say anybody's really the villain except for that grandfather. He's kind of a douche. And even by the end, he's crying. Like the end scene where he's standing in the crowd when Sylvester, he tears up because he knows that he's losing his grandson to this guy, and he's been a douchebag the whole time, but he tears. That actor tears up, so it's like he knows there's nothing that he can do to win this grandson back because he could see the love in the kid. So even him, when you put the tears into the mix, even the grandfather is not that big of a douchebag. He just loves his grandson, and he's trying to do what's best for him. So in a douchey way. But go ahead. Anyway, Curtis, you're up.
No, you didn't. But you just went on that whole rant, but you didn't pick anything.
What do I think? I'm oh man. Well, they don't explain why Sylvester Stallone left. They certainly don't explain why.
It's got to be for the sport, though. It's got to be for the sport.
So here's the thing.
But what they do explain is that Hugh Jackman used to be a boxer. He's got a relationship with the gym owner and then his daughter, and then he's gotten into this. And I think there's a more detailed story, and I think it's more interesting because there's a background. So I'm going to go with Real Steel.
I would agree with you on the lack of explanation or no explanation. Well, I only agree with that they didn't explain it like they did. Like they gave a little more detail in like the Real Steel story, but like the non-explanation in Over the Top, technically he did say why in the movie, because I was thinking the same thing throughout the entire movie, but towards the end he actually says why, and it was because of the grandpa. The grandpa is what drove him away.
He didn't say it. You were tearing us apart. That's all he said.
Yeah, I mean, no, he said it. He said it to.
If your father-in-law is a piece of shit, dude, like that's kind of rough. like you expect your mother-in-law, I love my mother-in-law. Record that again. I love my mother-in-law, but if you're like your father-in-law, usually as long as you're taking care of his daughter, you're fine. Like your life is good and everything's okay. But like if your father-in-law is against you, it's like that's fucking rough. So, but I think it was a sport, and he was going for the sport, and the father-in-law was like, "This guy sucks," and pushed him apart.
So which do you choose? Which one would you choose?
I'm curious to know because it seemed like when I was talking about the differences.
You made a
and the
very good
redemption-
point.
Yeah. So I want to
Dude,
hear your thoughts.
So you made a very good. And I was originally going to go with Real Steel. Besides the fact that they pull from Over the Top and Rocky, so you can't kind of beat that. But you made a good point, man. Like when it comes down to it, Over the Top.
I was talking about how
The redemption-
how difficult it was, and the differences and the difficulties one versus the other was of that redemption arc.
Yeah, so it's going to be harder for it is definitely harder for Hugh Jackman to redeem his relationship in Real Steel. So okay, it's definitely harder. He makes it a stronger movie because of that. However, at the same time, as a parent, like your job is to teach your children. I didn't see any teaching moment. So I was gonna go Real Steel all the way. Like it was just a better story, kind of copies both. But as a parent, your job is to teach kids stuff. And when he takes that kid in there and he's like, "You lost. Okay? You lost. Get over it and go win. I know that you can win. Get over it and go win." Because that's the thing. You don't win. You don't learn anything from winning. You don't all you learn is like, I'm awesome. You learn from failure. Failure is the best fucking thing in the world. Like if you can fail as much as possible young, that's the best thing in life.
Dude, that's why
Failure
I'm so smart.
is where you learn.
I fail so much.
I'm
it's just like I'm super smart.
And Sly was like, "Get back in there and whoop that kid's ass because I know that you can. You don't know that you can, but I know that you can." That's being a parent. That's teaching. At what point, since it's Father's Day weekend, did Hugh Jackman teach that kid anything? That kid taught Hugh Jackman everything.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
But at the same
Hugh
time,
Jackman
that's why,
didn't teach him shit.
Yeah.
Like, and he taught him to be a better father. But like, you know what, bro? That's your fucking job. You spread your seed. That's your job. Like, sorry. Like, I'm telling you, like, I was all on the Real Steel bandwagon until you made that point. Like, and that's at least bare minimum. Sly taught his kids something. Like, there's things worth fighting for. If you love it, it's worth fighting for. And just if you think you're gonna fail. And the kid comes back at the end. He's like, "You think you're gonna lose, don't you? Get out of that brain and go fucking just win. Just do it. Don't think about anything. Just go win. That's all you have to do. Shut up and go win." And there you go. Shut up and go win. There you go. Best story. Over the Top.
So you're calling Over the Top, and you. What are you saying, Adrian?
I'm still. Curtis did make some good points, and I kind of rethought my decision only because, and I'm not changing it. I'm sticking with Real Steel, but the reason why I'm sticking with it is because your point is exactly why I like Real Steel better, because the kid is the one teaching the dad. The kid is the one basically shaping the dad to become the dad that he should be. And I like that story
Fucking
better than just
millennial.
like,
You fucking millennial. Let the kids teach me.
Yeah.
Also,
hey, did you learn from your kids every day, man? I know I do.
also, if no one taught
I'll teach them real quick.
anybody anything, it could still be a good story. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like the question isn't who taught their kid better. It's who has a better story. And for me, being a sci-fi fan, I think just hey, we're gonna tell a story, and simple is sometimes great. We got a truck driver who takes his son on an adventure and wins a championship and gets custody of his son.
That's Over the Top.
That's over the top. And then you have another one where and then you have another movie that's in the near future where you have a guy who also drives a truck, who also is a dad, but he's fighting robots, and he's also an ex-fighter who was really awesome, who could have been something, and there was just some extra elements.
There was more layers in that one.
More layers of backstory and things, and I appreciate that. It's just maybe it's because it's this Over the Top was written a long time ago, and maybe they didn't need all that information back then, and now they make more detailed movies. I don't know, but I liked it better. So my point goes to Over the Top. Excuse me, just kidding. Real Steel. So let's.
I was so confused for a second.
No, I just
what needs to say.
So I'm gonna. Let's see what the chat says.
No,
what?
Yeah, they got your back, man.
Mike Hawk is annoying. He says.
That's what it said.
What's that?
What? And Bobby says, "Story, Real Steel." All right, fair enough.
Cool.
Fair
so,
enough.
Real Steel's in the lead. Let's go to the next one.
Stallone didn't need a robot to help carry the story.
True. That's right.
Just a
damn
switch.
robot.
That's right.
Just as right on, baby.
Yeah, when I put my hat on, it's like a switch. I was gonna wear my fucking hat for this. Damn it.
I knew Clint was gonna be all over the top, 100%.
Who do you guys think had the best cast?
This was kind of easy. It's got to go Real Steel.
It's kind of hard. Honestly, I'll tell you this: the kid in Over the Top, his acting was pretty fucking phenomenal for an '80s movie. Honestly, like his emotional scenes, I actually teared up. Like when
for
his mom
Over the
dies,
Top. Yeah, he was. He
was really good.
Yeah.
The kid in Real Steel was like, I don't know,
fake Anakin.
I don't know. Some parts when he was like emotional, it was harder to believe, like compared to the other kid.
Poor man's Anakin.
Poor man's Anakin.
I liked them both. They were both good. I liked when the other kid was cute and he would dance and dancing and
that
doing.
Shit was so cheesy. I hated that.
It was corny, but like.
But a kid would do that, right? Like
yeah.
Kid would be like, oh, I saw this on Facebook or not on Facebook, but YouTube or fucking TikTok or whatever the hell they're watching. Who knows?
Well, I have a thing for Evangeline Lilly, so she's worth 10 cast members of any movie.
Wait, who?
Evangeline Lilly.
Oh yeah,
this one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
she's an Ant-Man.
Yeah,
she's
put her,
great.
Put her up
She's
there.
lost.
Yeah, put her picture up there. I just want to say it again. I mean, like it had the Falcon in it. It had and who was the shitty guy from? And it was set in Texas to begin with.
Yeah.
So it kind of wins some points for that. And who that shitty guy from Texas? What was his name? But he was so good being a scumbag. Like just and here's the thing. So actually, when we're talking about cast, one of the factoids I had, they originally cast a couple of wrestlers to be in there. And they gave him a per diem, and they're like, "Oh, we can't shoot your scenes today." They gave him a per diem, and they were like, "For Over the Top." I'm sorry, for Over the Top. They were like, "We can't shoot your scene today. Here's some per diem, so go get something to eat." And instead, they went to the bar. They went to the bar, and they were just drinking their asses off. And one of the guys got into it with some other person at the bar and smashed his and his buddy's mug over his own face. It was like, "Yeah, you want some of this?" Blah, 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 blah. And then
was it John Grizzly?
Drug him out. No, they didn't end up being in the film because they were like, "Get the hell out of here!" Like, they weren't even in the film. Like, and so they're like, they're like, the cops went and took him to jail and stuff like that. And then the wife came in and bailed him out. Well, after the wife bailed him out, they waited for this big dinner, or they went home and stuff, and the wife had this big dinner for the husband, and they were Samoan or Tongan. They were Tongan, and so these are big dudes, and so they go and they're all at the wife's house or at his house again, and the wife takes a cast iron pan and smacks the wrestler in the back of the head and just keeps beating him in the head, and he's all on all fours, like crawling around going, stop, please stop. And she's like, never get drunk again. Like, just beating his ass.
Wow.
This is a random story. This is one of the guys from the Over the Top who got cast but didn't make it in the movie.
That could have been over the top. Yes,
that's wild.
One of the trivia things.
I enjoyed John Grizzly being like wah, and then drank motor oil, and then
that part was hilarious.
and then the next time you see him, he's drinking Alka-Seltzer. I'm like, oh. I like that Terry Funk was in this. I didn't realize Terry Funk was in this movie.
Yeah, dude.
Too.
He was the grandpa's fucking henchman.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, got his ass kicked. By Stallone.
I literally wrote when he was drinking motor oil, I was like, he is dead.
Yeah,
he's dead. Like, don't do that at home.
So,
all right. So points. We're gonna have to give it to Real Steel again.
Well, I didn't vote yet.
Well, you better hurry up.
I'm still trying to figure this. I'm still talking through it.
All right, let's go.
Because I talked about the kid, and because I'm only going to focus on the main two actors, because obviously that's majority of the movie is them two. I mean, honestly though, go back to the Real Steel cast real quick.
Because we also have a vote from we got a Roberta, Bobbi, Andersen. Real Steel cast.
So yeah, Kevin Durand, that dude is phenomenal, man. Like, even though he wasn't like a very main character in this movie,
Who's
like
Kevin Durant, who is it?
He's
the
in
Crazy Texan?
Oh yeah, he's the Crazy Texan guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He's
the dude is
awesome.
Dude, he's such a good actor.
He just fucking kills it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like between like Hugh Jackman and Sylvester Stallone, like it's hard for me to like say who's a better actor because they're just so different. They're so different. But I would have to say the acting for the movie, because of the fact, because Stallone, I mean,
acting is later. Who had the better cast? The better group of
total overall. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Overall cast.
Well, I'm kind of just trying to think of each person and then like all together.
Just heads up.
Yeah, I gotta
Brzink
go.
Was in Over the Top. He did make a cameo in Over the Top. John Brzink.
I mean, I would assume so. I'm gonna have to go with Real Steel too, just because there's like multiple people that are really great actors in that movie, and we're good in the movie too.
Indeed,
all right,
sir.
Clint's probably over there throwing his beer across.
Yeah, Real Steel. I mean, Terry Funk, Robert Loggia, Mad Dog, Real Steel. Meh. Chris says.
They did have Terry Funk. That was fucking great.
It is cool.
But it was just a cameo. It wasn't cast. Like that's
Chris, are you voting for Over the Top because that counts for something?
Pretty sure that's pretty.
He
obvious.
didn't say it. He just said Real Steel. Meh.
Literally every comment is anti Real Steel. You're all dead to me.
So we got. I go Real Steel. You go Real Steel. Curtis, what did you say? Or you said Over the Top?
Yeah, I gotta go Real Steel. But yeah, besides Sly, I gotta go Real Steel.
And
even
Bobby
Clint. What did Bobby say?
Bobby said Real Steel.
Yep.
Damn robots win again. You're all dead to me.
Dead. Yep. Appropriate.
All right. So this one's cheating. Which movie is a better looking movie?
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's
It's just not even
I
fair.
think it's
though.
not fair that we
Nah.
got such a time difference. I don't think it's a fair.
But well, I'll argue with that.
You gonna argue with that?
I'm gonna argue that a little bit. So yeah, Real still had better computer graphics and stuff, and they were robots fighting robots. But I will say, Over the Top was a real. They did a whole arm wrestling tournament for Over the Top before the movie was made, and the majority of that audience sequence was people that were there for the real arm wrestling tournament. So this was real people in a real set in Las Vegas. Like they did a real. It was real. Like, and I know they did. You know, a lot of the motion capture was from real fighters in real steel. That's cool, but like it's still like Over the Top happened. Like that was a real thing in America. That's part of something that really happened, and they really captured that on film. This is a part of Americana that died. Like it's not like made up. You know, Over the Top. Real Steel is fucking amazing. I love it. It's a good movie, but like this is a part of Americana that was real, and it's still real throughout the rest of the world. Like, and we should like bring this back as a sport. Like, and it just died because we were so dominant, because America was so dominant that the rest of the world like that America quit caring. Like, and like we gotta like just go back to that. Like we got to bring up our new guys. Like, you know, it's okay. Those were real crowds in that audience. Those were real people cheering for, not for Stallone. Like that, a lot of those crowd shots were for the tournament that they had before. Like that's a big thing. Like, you know, it's real. It's fucking real.
Real steel.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the country fair scene in the opening scene was especially built for the movie on a farm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I mean,
which one
stuff
do you think
happens.
looked better, Adrian?
I mean, it honestly, I'm not even quite sure what that means. Like visually, like.
I mean,
As
it
far
doesn't
as,
matter.
like,
Which one's a
it's
better
up to
date
your
movie?
interpretation.
We're gonna answer that in a little bit.
No.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one makes you want to take karate lessons? We there's all kinds of answers. Like
Yeah.
you gotta sell it however you can.
See, this one's tough for me because I'm definitely like, I'm a sucker for like effects and like epic, you know, scenes and shit like that. Like I'm like a huge modern action movie buff. Like I like the classics, but like visually, I like seeing that kind of shit. But I think, I mean, Curtis has a point because it's like Over the Top was a good movie without all that shit. And they had good technology at that time to have like crazy sci-fi movies with crazy,
straight
like,
up.
you know, crazy effects and
Predator
shit.
came out that year.
Yeah, so like the fact that like, I mean, it's not like there was any reason for them to have to do that. It was just a movie about not about arm wrestling, but centered around this guy who arm wrestles for a living, right? So like you couldn't really do anything with that. But to be honest, like I think the way I'm gonna look at this is like the practical aspects of the movie, because obviously it wouldn't be fair to put them up against each other in that aspect of like practical versus like, you know, non-practical and like effects and stuff. But like I think the way I'm gonna look at it is like with the practical stuff, what like made me like super like excited or like super like edge of my seat, or like, you know what I mean, that invoked like some kind of emotion or like feeling.
Emotional, yeah.
Like I think for sure on the practical side, that Over the Top for sure, just because they had to do it practically, and they had to like do whatever
really
on camera to like
fucking arm wrestling.
Yeah, they had to show that, you know, that excitement or that, you know, that worry or concern and like and dude, they were doing things like wrecking trucks and shit, so like they did
Right.
all they could really do practically to make it look believable, and I have to give it to Over the Top for that.
Yeah, Curtis.
No, I agree. Yeah, I'm already.
What's
I'm
your vote? Over the top. Over the top.
Over the top, baby.
All right, and then, what about you guys in the chat? What do you think? Which movie do you think is better looking? Also, you got like the crazy stadium with all the people in the stadium cheering on Real Steel.
How much you want to bet? Like 30-40% of that is like
probably a
copy and paste,
or they just went to like WrestleMania or something.
Yeah, exactly. You just
I think we're gonna give this one to Over the Top.
I'm not see either, but I like robots.
Predator, come on. We're gonna go. We're giving this one to Over the Top.
Yeah, baby.
Now we're talking. Yeah, Over the Top. Over the Top. Which Predator.
The fucking alien.
All right, this is I've been waiting for this one. Which movie has a better musical score?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Frankie Stallone, baby.
Yeah. To me, this one's easy. I'm gonna go Over the Top. Even if I didn't necessarily like some of the music in Over the Top, like the music in I'm sorry. Even if I didn't necessarily like any of the music in Real Steel, the music in Over the Top was just bad. It was just bad. So Over the Top, Real Steel.
You're going Real Steel? What?
I thought you were gonna say Over the Top.
Chris went
No.
Real Steel?
No way.
I didn't even notice any music in Real Steel. Like
there was a lot of Eminem. There was a lot of Eminem.
I noticed like the dance when he was doing the dance with the robot, but other than that, I had nothing that popped out.
It was mostly Eminem.
Yeah,
and then outside of Eminem, all I can remember was just like instrumental music. That was like,
but Over the
like
Top
upbeat,
was
like
bad.
rap, like kind of rap beat stuff.
Over the Top was
Here's the
bad ass.
I'm gonna challenge that though, because I was thinking about this. I had a feeling we were gonna talk about the music, the score, music, sound, whatever, sound design. So I look at two different parts when it comes to like sound in a movie, like music versus like, moments where there's like music that's supposed to like make you feel tense or whatever.
Okay.
Sound design.
Okay.
And I feel like in Over the Top, even though obviously it was in the 80s, so like even just instrumental shit is gonna sound, is gonna sound like an 80s song, right? Even if it's not like an actual,
of course.
Like they had people write music for the movie specifically, so it was never like an actual song in the 80s. But I feel like because of like how that movie was so like uplifting and a lot of points in that movie, and like you're like rooting for, the main guy, right? Like there was a lot of moments in that movie where the music really kind of helped, like invoke that feeling. In Real Steel, I mean, it was more just like sounds, like the typical like movie sounds, or Eminem. That's literally all I remember from Real Steel was the Eminem parts, and then like certain parts that were just like instrumental stuff that didn't really like do a lot for me in those moments. So me personally, I'm gonna go with Over the Top for that.
I like if and we're not talking about like sound design. Which movie was in THX?
We're talking about like sounds and instrumentals.
And
I consider instrumental sound design.
We're not talking about that, but we're talking about music and like music. It's got to be noticeable. And again, I don't remember any music from Real Steel. It was like maybe because it's all modern and you know, we're talking about like a 2010 movie, and I'm just kind of floated past me and I didn't even notice. But there's something fun about Sylvester Stallone movies to where, like, you know, whenever
He definitely cares about music,
I think it's whenever Apollo dies, he goes driving down the highway in Rocky, and there's no easy way out. Bum, bum, and there's a montage going, and there's no shortcut home. You know, and there's something about those cheesy songs from the to me, they're cheesy because we're not living at that time period, and they were cheesy back then. But still, there's something about that, and there's some songs that popped in weird times in this movie where it just like took me on into a 80s flashback to where it was like it was nice to. I was like, this song fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But it was nice. You know what I mean? It was like it made me feel like it was just nostalgia. And it just took me back to that time, and I liked that. So
it invoked a feeling, didn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
It brought me back, and I'm like, I like this, and so I'm gonna go with Over the Top because did they do that Eminem, the music you want it to do?
No,
you know,
it was like
I could see that. You only got one shot to do, you know, whatever.
But they already used that song for a movie.
For everything, for every movie. But you know, it's just like I don't notice anything.
And
okay,
that's the worst. Real quick, that's the worst fucking thing for kids. You only get one shot. No, you don't. That's like for fucking quitters. Like Abraham Lincoln had to like run for president like 3 or 4 times. Like no, you don't get one shot. Like no, that's the worst fucking song. Anyway, I did choose Real Steel. I'm gonna stick with it. But what song have I been singing all night?
There's no easy way out. What have you been singing all night? It's been
Winner
2
takes
weeks
it all. Loser takes the fall. Gotta take it over the top.
Yeah.
So I'll
I
stick
think
with my choice, but I can see defeat.
No way, dude. We're getting Over the Top's getting a point for this one.
Yeah, you don't only get one shot.
Wait, I gotta look at the.
Like,
I gotta hold on.
So Clint said Real Steel.
No clue. Don't remember it. Eminem, Unnoticeable. Meet Me Halfway, Unforgivable. Meet Me Halfway is Unforgivable. So
we really only got one vote from somebody in chat, which is Clink saying Real Steel.
No, that Real Steel. That's for the last one.
Is it?
Clink, I need you to vote right now because otherwise you're voting for Real Steel.
He put Real Steel when we were talking about music. I saw it when it came up live, like in real time. I'm pretty sure. I think it's because he doesn't care for the 80s music that's in that movie.
Whatever, dude. He's got all of Frankie Stallone's records in his giant vinyl collection.
Yeah.
Half of his vinyl collection is Frankie Stallone.
Frankie.
All right. I'm waiting for Chris to save the day on this. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
All my life I've been waiting for Chris Flink. Nink.
He said, no, Real Steel wins music. Fuck Peter Catera, whoever it was.
All right.
Okay, so that's 2. So wait, it's a tie then, isn't it?
I think so. So I'm saying Over the Top, and you said
Over the Top,
and Curtis said Real Steel, and Chris said Real Steel. So it's a tie unless we get we're gonna need a tiebreaker for the chat. This is getting serious. This is getting serious, guys. We need one more vote. The first vote to come in. The first vote to come in is going to break the tie for which one had better music, Real Steel or Over the Top. First, I'm just sitting here watching, waiting.
I think most of the people in here don't remember the music.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I guess if all else fails, we could just give a point to each, and we'll still
Or
be
no
where we are now.
points. Somebody will chime in just
That's
a
true.
second. There's
That's
just
true.
like a 20-second delay, so we just gotta wait. We just gotta wait for 20 seconds. Top. All right. Bobbi! Bobby Predator. Bobby came in with the win for Over the Top, who honestly needs the help because they're like when you look at most of these questions,
Real still has the advantage.
I feel like they do.
I mean, dude, most modern movies are going to have an advantage when you go up on a versus versus an old movie.
But most modern movies don't have Sylvester Stallone. That's right. All right, moving on. Now this one is a good one. Now, should I mix it up a little bit? No, I don't know. I just whisper and talk to myself. Okay. Which movie has better acting?
I already know my answer for this one.
Hold on.
I've kind of already said it earlier, honestly.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on for one more day.
Which movie has better? Which movie has better acting? Of kids. Which movie has better acting of kids? All right, now we got to look at the two stars. Dakota Goyo, who's otherwise known as the poor man's Anakin. That's right, Dakota Oyo. And then we got David Mendenhall, who grew up to look like a very different person.
Yeah. Honestly, he kind of looks like a child molester.
That's not very nice, dude. He might be watching at home. Which one had better child acting? Curtis, what do you think?
I would say John Brzink as a 20-year-old or whatever he was, I would still consider that a child. He was amazing in his cameo. No, I'm just kidding.
Chris Clink's like, who cares over the top?
Overall acting like that. Okay.
I changed it to kid because when you get acting from
kid
the
acting?
early age,
Kid acting?
kid acting. There's only two kids, so it's the child in both movies. Which
I'm gonna go for fake Anakin over my cock. Fake Anakin beats my cock.
What do you think?
Man, it's kind of hard for me because I was talking about this earlier about the emotion scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How
Adrian, you want to vote for
my cock?
My cock?
My cock
Just
squirted
vote-
better.
Go ahead and vote for.
Come on
vote
now.
for
His eyes squirted better.
I'm fine if my cock wins.
I think overall, I got to give it to the real still kid actor, but just because like his overall performance, like his like anger and resentment towards, and it was more believable for like how much longer it took for him to like truly start liking his dad. And I feel like you were saying earlier about the kid in Over the Top, how it was like all of a sudden everything's fine, you know?
Just let him drive. That's all you got to do. Just let him drive.
I feel like like that was less believable like on the acting part for the kid. So I think real still.
One of my notes for him was like he's like Leia. He just runs away every time. Like he just kept running away.
Hey,
like,
ran across the fucking highway like an idiot.
Yeah, like what do you do? Didn't you go to military school?
Then again,
what is wrong with you? Like,
then again, that I mean, from an acting perspective of like what he did in that moment to show like
Somebody
how
wrote
much
that.
he didn't
Yeah,
want to be
somebody
there.
Wrote that. Yeah.
You know. Well, I know. I'm just saying like the way that he delivered it as an actor. You know. But I think just overall, like, I feel like overall, Max Kenton or whatever, Dakota Goyo, he was more
That's-
believable throughout the entire movie.
All right, point
That's
went
because
to
we're talking about the kids. We're talking about the kids.
Yeah.
point went to Real Steel because I voted for Dakota Goyo, also Real Steel. So, which movie makes you want to take karate lessons more?
I'm glad I'm not watching this episode in public. My bad. I was talking about squirting from his eyes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't be. It's Mike Hawk. Mike Hawk.
Yeah.
So
What's wrong with
Bobby
saying Mike
says
Hawk?
child acting over the top.
All right, that was 1 point for them. What did you say, Curtis? Did you say you?
Yeah, he
sit
said
over
Real
the
Steel.
top, baby.
Yeah, and
Wait,
and
you
I
said over
did
the
say
top?
Real Steel. No,
No,
I said Real Steel.
Oh, okay.
I said Real
Fake
Steel,
Anakin.
and you said Over the Top.
No, I said Real Steel.
Okay, cool. Real
Yeah.
Steel won. Okay. Well, which movie makes you want to take karate lessons?
Neither.
Real Steel, because fucking if Adam knew karate, like if Hugh Jackman knew karate, bam,
Oh,
movie
boxing, dude.
over. I love boxing, but
Over the top.
Yeah,
Robots
right.
don't punch people.
Yeah, but you need karate if you get punched in the face by Hurley, you need some karate
yeah,
so you can be
Bill
like,
Hurley punched him in the face, yeah, yeah. You're like arm wrestling, and then you can just whip your leg up and be like,
"Wah!" Oh no,
That's some
bam,
dirty ass feet.
karate,
dude, you got Walmart feet, dude.
bam.
All right, so I'm gonna go with what do you?
Man, what was that? That
what
was
do
a
you-
foot.
what
That's
do you
So
what-
that was just like that was one that you came up with on the spot. Are we
No,
voting
no,
on this
that's-
one?
No,
that's-
these are real
that's-
questions.
Oh, I
That's
didn't see the
real.
last question.
The last question: which
Oh,
made you
okay. I
made
missed
you
it.
want to take karate lessons more? Sometimes it's sometimes we might be watching the Smurfs movie, and this is a question that comes up.
Yeah.
Because Curtis likes.
Sometimes you're like, this movie's winning, but like the other movie's just fucking better. I don't know why. And it's like, whoa, weird shit like this. That's why. Like, done you.
That's right. And man,
Deal
we
with it,
got
Ammo.
we got two over the tops in the chat.
I'm gonna say over the top too because
Oh, snap.
robots are fighting in. Well, I guess Hugh Jackman got in fights too.
But you're right.
But it's
If
just
you know
boxing.
if you know karate, the robots can mirror you in karate. So
Yeah, but
that's
it-
like
Yeah, but that would just make your real life scenario of that movie better. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
It
But-
wouldn't make me that. That's not saying the movie makes me want to learn karate.
yeah, because if I went up against a robot, it would just smash me and I'd be dead.
Basically, I want to be a badass like Stallone, and he kicks ass in that movie, not just arm wrestling when he fucking punches what's his name,
You never
Terry
know.
Funk
Yeah,
in the stomach, and then pushes him through the fucking window or the sliding glass door. Like that makes me want to just learn how to fight. So
over the top.
I would
There
say
you
over
go.
the top.
That's 3, and I'm voting over the top also. Curtis, what are you voting?
I had to go real still. I'm sorry.
Wow, why?
Because if he knows karate, he's going to kick ass. The robot's going to kick ass. Go Adam. Go Adam.
Let's see. Boom. All right. Man, this is a close one. This is a
Well,
close.
this is the closest.
It's getting close.
This
It's
is-
4 on 4.
I honestly didn't expect it to be this close.
I didn't either. I did not
I mean,
either. So, this is an interesting one because we almost had this already. But which one had the best characters? This is a really tough one
Yeah, it is.
because you've got some interesting robots, interesting cast of robots, different. But then you have
but are
Hugh
they
Jackman's
characters?
character. You got Hugh Jackman's character. You've got Bailey, Evangeline Lilly's character. You got the kid. You've got Olga, the rich bitch, I'll call her. You've got Kevin Durand, the redneck. You've got Anthony Mackie playing the announcer guy, and you got all these different interesting people in this movie. But you also have all the crazy arm wrestlers. You got Hurley, that's like, oh, he's a character, and you got the guy drinking motor oil. You got there's all these different people in this other movie. You got Terry Funk. You got a douchey grandpa, you got a sick mom, and there's just a weird, like a vast cast of characters in that movie. So it's holy smokes.
That's a good point, Clint. See what he
Over
said?
the top. Arm wrestlers could have been the cast of Roadhouse.
Yeah. I think Clint just won me over with that comment, because they definitely could have been the henchman of what's his name, the rich dude. I forgot his name. It's been a while since I've seen Roadhouse.
What do you think, Curtis? What are you thinking? Better characters.
I mean, like if I didn't feel, honestly, if Real Steel had existed in a universe where Rocky and Over the Top did not exist, like I would pick it, but I just feel like they pulled so much from these movies. And at the same time, whatever. Better characters are somebody who you can relate with. It doesn't matter. John Brzink would have taken them all down. So Over the Top.
Man, it's I think it's unanimous. Did you
I haven't given my vote yet.
What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like, I'm gonna have to be the odd one out, because I want to explain why in a summarized version. So basically, with Real Steel, the characters that are in that movie, like basically, obviously the main characters, Hugh Jackman, the kid, Kevin Durand, who was a pretty main character in the movie, kept coming back in at the worst times. Anthony Mackie, even though he wasn't in the movie for very long.
Yeah,
they had a different mix of characters that all had like really specific roles, other than just like big guy number one and big guy number two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the only time that the characters in Over the Top that were like specific characters was like the last handful of guys that were in the actual tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But throughout the movie, it was just like extra people. They're just extras, basically, with like one line, But like Real Steel, I feel like the overall group of characters that were consistent throughout the movie were very specific to like who they were in the movie and why they were in the movie, and the acting on top of that. So I'm gonna go with Real Steel.
Yeah, we also had the mullet teenager, but then we also had the Mohawk guy at that one match in Real Steel, the punk rocker guy.
Yeah, that guy was a character.
Yeah,
that guy was like a very specific type of character. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go Real Steel now too, and you did Real Steel, and Curtis did Over the Top, and then we got Clint and Bobbi doing Over the Top. So we lose. But at least Real Steel didn't get completely slaughtered.
Yeah. Wow. Over the Top took the lead, huh?
Over the Top took the lead. He turned his hat around like a switch.
That's right,
baby.
And
he's like a machine. All right. Which movie is the best movie to cheer you up between these two films? Which one will cheer you up? I'm going real steel on this one.
Yep.
I've seen Over the Top enough times in my life that I don't need to watch that unless I'm doing a YouTube channel show. I'm just saying I could rewatch Real Steel and enjoy the give me 6 months for it to wear off a little bit, and I could rewatch Real Steel because I've only seen it once. So and I like fun eye candy when I'm bummed out. So I think to cheer me up, I would say Real Steel.
Yep, I'm on the same boat, but it's because I know it would cheer me up. We were talking about this earlier before we went live, but the fact that I have kids that haven't seen the movie yet, like it excites me to like show them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It excites me to actually show them the movie because I know they're gonna like it. So like that's gonna bring me cheer and that's gonna make me happy. So, and I know if I sat them down to watch Over the Top, they're just gonna be confused. Like, what the fuck are we watching? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Real Steel for sure.
Curtis, what's your
I'm gonna go Real Steel because same time, like my kids have seen it, but like, and no matter how bad of a dad I can get, like they can be like, "Oh, look at that! He's a shitty fucking dad." Oh, but look, robot fighting.
Whatever,
all right,
dude.
yeah.
You're a good dad.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. So this one goes to
11.
11. This one goes to Real Steel. The chat even voted on Real Steel for this. So.
Oh, Clint just had a vote. He said, "Over the Top until the credits / music starts."
Man, you're hating on that music.
I mean, is that even really a vote?
I don't think so.
Too late. Playtime is over.
There we go.
It's getting real. Wow.
It is getting real. What the hell? I'm having oh, there it is. Boom. My there it is. I couldn't get my robot to show up. Awesome.
Technology.
All right, which movie do you think is a better date movie? Oh boy. Which one's a better date movie? Curtis, you fall asleep?
No, that's a tough one.
Better date movie.
I'm gonna have to go Over the Top because, like, no one wants to be married to Hugh Jackman in Real Steel, man. Like, you know, if one thing had gone wrong in that movie, he's a shitty father and he dumps your kids off with your brother and sister, or your sister and your brother-in-law, whatever. You know, one thing goes wrong, and it's like there's no reconnection with your father. Whereas in Over the Top, like this guy's been trying the whole time, like to reconnect with his son. And like, even though they're both about divorce or separation or however you want to frame it, whatever, like if you take somebody to see that, it's like, yeah, like you got your passions, but you still care about your kid. All right. And my fucking father, like, so I'm gonna go Over the Top.
Adrian?
My fucking father.
Let's see. So, okay. I'm married, so if I was to take my wife on a date to see a movie, and those were the two options, I'd want to take her to a movie with the option that has the least attractive guy in it. Just because.
So Over the Top still wins.
Right. Well, no,
Okay.
no, I'm talking through it. You got to let me talk through it because I'm weighing options here, right? So I know that my wife she's more attracted to Hugh Jackman than Sylvester Stallone.
You know, it doesn't
I'm just
matter where
assuming
she
that, but
gets
I'm pretty sure.
her appetite. It doesn't matter where she gets her appetite as long as she eats at home, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be like,
Take us on an adventure.
So
you could be like,
So there's that.
I'm the Jack Man, baby. Yeah.
So there's that part of it, right? But then going back to the feel good movie, right? The one that cheers me up. Obviously, I want to be in a good mood. I want to have a feel good movie on my date. And that's what Real Steel does. That's why I'm kind of torn. So
it's more about the date on this one, though. What's
I know,
your date
but that's what I'm saying. You have to think about these things and how you're going to feel on the date and how you want that experience to be on your date. So
let's say it's date night, and this is the worst experience.
Probably
in the world.
one without the dying wife. That's a good point, dude. That's a very good point. Yeah.
They both die. They die in both movies.
Yeah, but one of them she's dying, not died. Right?
Well, yeah.
The other one, she's still alive and like talking to her kid on the phone and
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. Yeah, but she can give her wishes. That's what I'm saying. And over the top, she can give her wishes and shit. But
yeah.
But
watching the mom die is like a bummer, you know? I mean, I guess it's good to watch like sad, emotional movies. I mean, you're on a date, you know? So I'm going to go with Over the Top. Because of I think I got more emotional in Over the Top than I did in Real Steel. I got emotional in both, but I think I got a little bit more of emotional in Over the Top. So I think that would be a better date movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think. I mean, with these two movies, Over the Top, you can like you can see Sylvester wanting to reconnect with his kid from the very beginning, you know, and I've got it written in my notes here, like Sly is a good dad, Jackman sucks. Like that's my notes. like he sold his kid's custody, like, and it's like from the get go, like that's gonna turned me off, like much as any woman can be like dying of cancer or whatever it is, like fuck this guy, like, and he ends up being the hero, like you said. That's good. That's more of a transition. However, like still, like it's just like wanting to root for this guy for the whole movie, you know, it's kind of hard. So
yeah. Clint said one's dead off screen, one is literally dying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the one that's, for me personally, I feel like the one that's dying in the movie where she's still alive is going to bring in more emotion, which is better for a date movie.
And and that's the thing, her granddad, or the kid's granddad literally owns custody, or could own custody, if she just signed the paper. And she was like, no, I'm not signing the paper. I want him to him to get to know his dad. And like, so you're obviously rooting for this relationship from get-go. So
yeah.
All right, so we got Chris said not the one with the dying wife, so that means he's voting for Real Steel.
Yeah.
Melissa,
you get laid at home after the Hugh Jackman movie, but I don't look like Hugh Jackman. She's gonna come home and be like, ugh, this is what I'm coming home to. I go from looking at that to looking at this.
Over the Top for Bobbi. Can you use the word better in a sentence about a date involving either of these movies?
Use the word better in a sentence about a date involving either of those movies.
Over the Top is a better date movie than Real Steel.
Yeah, if you want an over-the-top date. I think, and you know what? I think Danielle's watching from Spain right now, which is awesome. She's supposed to be in Spain.
Everybody watches Over the Top and goes, "Oh man, why did Sly leave?" Everybody watches Real Still and goes, "Fuck that guy. Why is he getting custody of this kid?" Until the end. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know,
Yeah.
you're going on a date, like, and it's always one of these, like, if you've been with this person a long time, have you, like,
Well,
you
that's
know,
the difference.
date is it?
That's the difference
But-
between these two movies is that the kid turns Hugh Jackman into a better person, and Sylvester Stallone turns the kid into a better person. That's the difference.
Still, who would you want to date? I want to date some Sly.
I think I want to date Evangeline Lilly. That's a
No cheating,
that is
no
a point.
cheating.
That is a point. I might be just transfixed on Evangeline Lilly,
I don't know. Hope Davis is pretty hot.
where I end up where like my date's like, why are you looking at the screen like that? And I'm
love
like, oh
Evangeline
no.
Lilly.
Where in Over the Top, I might be like, hey baby, you want to arm wrestle? And so I think I'm gonna have to vote for Over the Top for my date movie. Who did you vote for?
When it,
Over the Top.
Over the Top?
Yep.
I think it's, except for Chris. Chris voted for Real Steel. Over
Technically,
the
the last comment he said, it'd be better not to take a date to see either of these movies. So he voted against both of them in the end.
Top,
But yeah.
Hell yeah. Danielle is up. It's 5 a.m. in Spain, and she's watching this show. I hope you're having fun over there.
welcome.
The reason you can't sleep is because you took a siesta. They take those damn siestas, and then they're up till 5 in the morning. This is no time for siesta. Let's see. Okay, here I got one. Which one of these movies is a better Christmas movie? You're like, what the hell does that mean? It means however you can sell it. It's
I mean, it's
however you can sell it.
Which one's a better family movie, basically?
No, it's a Christmas movie.
No, you said it. Take it however you want
Yeah,
it. That's
how
I'm
you
taking
take
it.
Yeah, it could be like, dude.
To me it's a movie that like it would be a movie that you could sit down on Christmas. Everyone just got done eating and everyone's sitting on the couch, and this is the movie you put on. Everybody watches it together.
Yeah.
During Christmas.
Yeah.
By the same token, you could say John Grizzly looked like Santa but younger, and that's a good answer too. It's whatever you want. It could be.
You take it, you make it.
What's your answer, Curtis? Better
I'm gonna
Christmas
go Real
movie.
Steel. Like my kids have watched Real Steel. They love Real Steel. I love Real Steel. I didn't try to make them watch Over the Top. I love Over the Top, but I got to go Real Steel, man. It's just a all around better family movie.
Yeah,
whatever.
I agree. I'm with Curtis on that one.
Yeah, and
Sure.
Danielle is a good point. Okay, so Real Steel has better toy merch.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We gotta
I gotta
find
get
the over the top toy.
I have to get the over the top toy merch.
Yeah, you need the hot toys, over the top hot toys. Yeah.
If it doesn't have the hat switch, I don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it doesn't have a version of
You buy
Stallone
one and
with the hat.
Yeah,
switch.
when you flip
forward, and
this,
then you buy the other one.
that's part of the reason I went out there. I was going to get my hat so I could turn it around like a switch. Damn it. Awesome. My vote is going to be Real Steel on this one. Real Steel?
It's just a damn good movie.
It
Yeah.
is a good movie, man.
Christmas family movie. Yeah.
Okay, points for Real
I
Steel.
mean, I rewatched it again today, and I was like, "Oh shit, I should have rewatched this with my kids." Like, but you know,
Wait, did we already do points for the date one?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
We did. We did a vote. We put the. We okay.
Did we put? I think so.
I don't remember you doing it.
Over the Top is a gift, says Chris Klink. Yes. Oh boy. All right. Mm-hmm.
did we though? So it's 5-5.
Okay. Which movie had better?
Wait, I don't know if we. I don't know if we did
Oh, we didn't do
because
No, we didn't. That's what I'm saying.
the 1, 2,
I think because you
3,
stepped
4,
out, you
5,
came back.
6,
'cause
7,
it was 5-5 and
9,
then
and then 10. So there should be 10 points up there total,
Yeah.
which would be actually 12 points.
So
because
what's
we
the
start
better
with
date movie? Okay, so
12. So
I think that one went
2,
to
3, 4, 6.
over the
Over the
top.
Top.
Over
Yeah.
the top.
Better date movie?
Yeah, I went to Over the Top.
So we're still tied. Oh shit.
Did Over the Top really win for the date movie?
Yeah,
Pretty
because
sure.
Hugh Jackman's a piece of shit in that movie.
Yeah, me and Curtis, we
He's
voted
like,
for
once I
Over
knew
the
I
Top.
could win some money, I love my kid. Oh wow.
I think you voted for Real Steel, right?
I don't remember.
No, I didn't vote for
No,
Real
I
Steel.
voted
No, I
for
was talking
Over
to
the
Clint.
Top, I think.
Oh.
What? I did vote for Real Steel.
Yeah. And then in the chat, I can't remember who officially voted because Clint kind of gave a conflicting answer.
Well, this means we're having it's a close race, gang. It's a close race. So now we get to which movie had better fight choreography?
Who had the best stunts and fight choreography?
Fight
Important to read that whole sentence because
Still, best stunts and fight choreography. Yep.
because there's definitely a big difference with the movies.
Absolutely.
Stunts versus fight choreography.
You had a stunt driver drive an 18-wheeler through a gate in a house, and then you had one guy punch Terry Funk, the wrestler, through
Through a
glass
window,
windows.
yeah.
On the other movie, you had
Special effects robots.
no,
fighting
you
each other.
you had the legendary Sugar Ray Leonard choreograph the fights, the fighting with professional boxers where they captured the motion captured.
Oh, yeah. But we only knew that because that was a factoid.
Yeah, but
that Curtis
that
brought.
that still makes it true.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
And
it
at the
less
same
real.
time, Stallone said this was more effort than he put forth in Rocky.
Yeah.
Because those guys choreography, maybe not fighting, but they're competing in those arm wrestling matches. They were going full force on those things. Like, and he got punched in the face for real by Bull Hurley.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But then also, if you think about Over the Top, you've got not Over the Top. Over the Top was the scene when the kid was running across the highway.
Dude,
That was pretty.
crazy.
That was
I can't
pretty
believe they
intense.
did that.
That was a pretty intense moment. The moment when he gets kidnapped by the grandparents or the grandpa's henchmen, and Stallone straight up just rams the fucking car with his truck. Like that was a good stunt moment.
At the same time, too, Jackman actually fights the fucking Texans henchman as well.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
starts
Kevin
getting
Durant.
going. Like, yeah, like he is. It's like because he's a fighter the whole movie, and then he actually fights. It was pretty damn good.
Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah, Danielle says I feel like the choreography in one movie was more CG than the other. There was a put that up there. There was a factoid. I don't know if you were listening the whole show, but what I was saying, much of the robot boxing fights were motion captured using professional boxers, supervised by Sugar Ray Leonard. So that was one of the tidbits.
So it was technically real.
Technically
just
real motion. It was just and
added visual effects
and
to
they-
make robots do it.
Yes.
Which is why it makes it harder to decide between the two. Because there was a lot of fighting in Real Steel, but
it was rehearsed. It was like that. That's what practical will always win, in my opinion, because they blew shit up when they ran that truck through the gate. Like they're really blowing shit up. They're really hitting people. They're real like practical is always going to win, in my opinion, because like you can animate whatever you want. Like, and I know that the real people are doing it, but you just get them to do it again, or you get somebody else to do it again, and then you animate over it. Like it. So I got to go with practical on this one. I'm going to go over the top.
Yep. Melissa Mel says robots don't need to be choreography directed. Yeah, they wanted the motion to be genuine, to be look real. They didn't want it to be some like fake like looking
And it
CGI. That's why it looked cool.
Looked good. It looked good. Yeah, it looked damn good. But I mean, you're talking about fight choreography. You know,
but bottom line is this. Human. Bottom line is this, though. Whether it was, effects and motion animated, the actual fighting in Real Steel was fucking cool because they made it to where they fought with what the robot looked like. Like if the robot had like fucking hammer hands, he would do like hammer punches and shit. So like it was very specific to the robots, which is what I think is like cool. Cause I'm also usually the kind of person to be like, I like practical better because it looks realer, right? It looks more real.
Yeah.
But I think because of like the fact that like they made sure to like have a distinct, like characterized fight style for each robot in that movie. Plus they had real fighting too on top of that with like real people with Hugh Jackman and like, henchmen and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's why I would choose, or I'm going to choose Real Steel for that reason.
So Stunts, you're going Real Steel?
Mm-hmm. Stunts and choreographed fighting.
What do you think, Curtis? Stunts and choreography. The key word is choreography. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it is choreography. You're
Stunts, man.
You're not choreography. Like you're like, okay, the choreography for arm wrestling is like, okay, hold it a little bit longer.
But it's not even choreographed.
And then, okay, you start to lose. Okay, I'm starting to lose. Okay, now you start to win. Okay. As opposed to like
these are people that don't respect the sport. Okay, I'm telling you, Stallone said it was more demanding than Rocky, which is a fighting movie, which is what fucking Real Steel is. I was about to lean y'all's way, but you're not respecting the sport.
But
and
lifting
it was more demanding.
Lifting kegs of beer would be more demanding, because than Rocky, because it's a lot of weight. He's talking about physically demanding. That has nothing to do with choreography.
True.
They are literally arm wrestling every scene. They're doing it every scene, and he was wore out. He tore his forearm muscle.
The question isn't which one was a harder workout. The question is which one had better choreography.
Yeah.
Now the argument of like,
you can find a fucking dance movie that has better choreography and like dancing. I mean, I'm just saying, like, but who can do it? Like anybody can like redo it, and it's like, oh, that fucked up, and then we're gonna animate over it. No, these guys were really fucking arm wrestling on camera, and you can't animate over it. Those guys deserve the win. You can't animate over it. Their
actually you
scenes
can.
Were real.
You just motion capture guys arm wrestling, and then you make it.
They could have motion captured the robots arm wrestling.
It's like they.
No, but I see what I see your
point. You can't.
I see
in 1982, they really did it. And then these other guys is like, oh, well, I fucked up on that one. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just animate over it. Like, no, these guys really did it. I'm going over the top.
Clink says Boyka is the most complete fighter in the world. The
most complete arm
Bobby
wrestler
said
in the
it's
world
Steel.
Brzink.
I'm going Steel.
There you go.
Just because they consulted Sugar Ray Leonard to be their choreographer of the fight scenes.
But
Danielle also said
it's still just animated make-believe. Like these guys really fucking arm wrestled for like hours and hours and hours at a time. Like
but they didn't even use stunt people. They just did it themselves.
They did. That's my point. Like, it wasn't even like they really did it. And okay.
So what?
So I don't know because Bobbi technically went one way and then went the other.
Yeah, Bobby, what
said Stunts over the top, but choreography Steel.
So that's a neutralized vote because
So it doesn't
it
count.
cancels itself out.
So Danelle said Over the Top.
I feel like movie was more CG than the other, so Over the Top. All right, so we got Over the Top and Over the Top Curtis, and you're doing Steel,
Yeah, Steel.
and I think I'm going Steel. So we need one more vote to break the tie. We've
Clink.
got a tie.
Give us a real answer. Not just random other
Which
fucking
one?
movies.
He already did the most complete fighter in the world. How
That's-
about the most complete arm wrestler in the world, Brzink?
That's
Watch the fucking documentary. Nobody could beat
that's
it.
Boyka.
No
The
weight
robot one?
class. No, he's Boyka times 10. He is made for arm wrestling.
Okay, we got another vote.
The robot one.
Ah.
Ah.
Brzink
Yeah.
or Bazoinka would be
All right.
disappointed. Oh, I'm sorry, Curtis. I just totally disrespected your homie.
Did you say Boyka?
Brzink.
Bazinga?
Okay.
Brzink is fine.
You mix
I
Brzink,
gave you the realest
Brzink and
answer
Boyka,
possible.
you get Bazoinka.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Clint.
Gave you the realest answer possible. Sorry, Clint. We agreed on everything else. Oh, Curtis. All right. Let's see what else we got. Boy, that was a tense one.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Which movie made you hungrier? Oh
Ooh.
boy.
Real Steel. The fucking burgers. And
Yeah,
the burrito.
burgers and burritos. I'm getting hungry right now just talking
Yeah.
about it.
I feel like there were scenes with, because you couldn't really even see the food, just hearing about it made me hungry. But I feel like there had to have been a scene where there was actual food that you could see.
They do have steak in Over the Top.
Ooh, that's right.
They do. And you're fucking arm wrestling people for hours and hours at a time. So you're going to get fucking hungry. It's like I'm taking crazy pills.
Uh,
I don't know. Just hearing burgers and burritos, that already sold me, honestly.
burgers and burritos. I'm
Yeah.
going. And plus, I'd love to take Evangeline Lilly to dinner. I'm going to go in with. I'm just kidding. I'm going to let that one go. I'm going with Real Steel
Yeah, same. Real Steel.
because a greasy steak at Denny's doesn't sound good. But a burger sounds delicious.
A greasy steak at Denny's sounds fucking amazing.
A truck stop steak.
And that's what you need. You need that truck. Okay. So Lincoln Hawk came from the Truckers International Division, even though Bill Hurley was the Truckers International Champion. So figure that one out. But I mean, you gotta get hungry. You're arm wrestling people all day long. It was a tournament, guys.
Dude.
This was a tournament. And
Sweaty,
it's not a fucking robot.
sweaty Stallone, appetite lost. Fighting robots, inhaling popcorn.
That's a very, very good point. Also, drinking motor oil, that does not make me want to eat anything.
No, that makes me.
Yeah, it's death. Don't
makes
do
me
that.
wanna-
That's death.
Yeah.
You die. Yeah, you can eat it like you can even a tablespoon and you die.
I'm like a sweet.
John would destroy
Ooh.
Sly. I love
Ooh.
Sly, but John would just
Over the top. Over there, nothing is over. Hey, come on, over the top. All right, come on. Okay.
Yeah.
So the point I'm saying, I think-
real gets it.
What? Hold on. What did Melissa say? Yes, but is it real steak more that burnt shit Trump puts ketchup on? Oh, that burnt shit.
it's
Trump
not a patty melt. Let's see here. Robot.
Real Steel's kind of shutting it out.
Did it add the point?
I can't tell.
Okay, I'm lost track too.
I think it did. Oh,
All
steak.
right, pulling ahead.
That's why I
Pulling
was
ahead.
confused.
All right.
Okay.
Burnt shit.
Yeah, it added the point. All right. Okay, which this is a fun one. Who had the better brat?
Oof.
We already had this conversation.
Or did it say
Fake Anakin.
brat? Was it brat?
It's fake Anakin.
Nah,
Fake Anakin was
dude.
better than. Dude, he was
Nah.
better than my cock.
He was.
I mean, I love my cock. My cock is the best thing in the world.
When I think of better
But-
brat, I think of like who was more believable that they were a brat, and I think my cock was more believable as a brat.
My cock.
I'm
Mike
glad that you like my cock.
You can't, no matter how you say it,
Mike
it's gonna come out that way.
Hawk was very good as a brat before he drove.
Yeah.
He was a real piece of work, you know?
Yeah, he was a little fucking shit.
He was a little turd. And kept running across the highway and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, come on. You
Like
just want to
giving him shit about
that's
his
why I don't-
fucking eating habits.
Yeah, that's why I don't. And also basically called him dumb. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Before he let him drive. Cue Clint
Yeah.
singing beat on the brat. Yes. With the baseball
With a
bat.
baseball bat. Oh, yeah.
And you're right. You're right, Bobby.
Jackman
Brat,
was the brat. for
yeah,
sure.
Hugh Jackman was the brat. The roles were
Yeah.
reversed in that movie. So which movie had the better brat?
I
Well,
wouldn't.
Jackman's
I mean,
better.
Nah, he wasn't really. I mean, he wasn't a brat. I agree with like the switching of the roles where he was like the shithead, but he wasn't necessarily a brat.
I'm going
over the top.
over the top, kid.
That kid was an asshole at first.
Yep.
The other kid was just
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
angry.
Yeah, Or,
To over the top,
was
you're
it?
saying that the kid who got his sleeves ripped off on Over the Top was a better brat?
yeah, my cock. My cock's always the best.
I think we're unanimous on that.
We all like my cock.
Mike Hawk. Man, that's a tough one.
Ethan Hawke is greater than my cock.
You said it.
Yes.
My
Boom.
cock.
Brat
The
top.
best around.
We're definitely going to put that on
Nothing's
the...
going to ever keep you down. All right, 1 point, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Best brat in the category. No parent wants their kid to win. Fair point.
Which movie had the better villain?
I mean, the
gotta
thing is,
be-
who was the real villain in Real Steel, though? There wasn't really like a main villain.
There wasn't. Yeah, they were all. Yeah.
There was like multiple
people trying to make this kid better, which is a better world, but
yeah.
Yeah, and Kevin Durant's character wasn't around enough to really be a villain.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to say Over the Top because the villain
Yeah.
clearly
His grandpa.
was the grandpa. He was the clear villain in that movie, but there was no clear villain in Real Steel. It was just multiple people that got in the way.
The villain was heart disease that took the mom.
That's
that's the villain.
yeah.
Bull. I guess that's true. Bull was also a villain.
Where was the
one with the
No, the villain was Granddad. Yeah. Like in Real Steel, there was no.
I guess technically the villain in Real Steel at first was Hugh Jackman. He was a dick.
Yeah,
I
but
like-
yeah. I mean,
I like how I'm like the villain was heart disease.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going with
Villain
Grandpa.
over the top.
Yeah.
Grandpa
over
over
the
the top.
Fuck that guy.
Man, yeah, he was a real douche. He was a real piece of work.
It's a real douche.
And his haircut sucked.
What other movies has that guy been in? I
A lot.
forget.
A
Yeah,
lot.
there was another 80s movie that he was in that I'm trying to think of.
Under the
It's
bottom.
his fucking voice. His voice is like so recognizable.
What the hell, man? Well, give me my muscles. Give me my muscles.
Yeah, anyone with bad hair is automatically a villain. That's true.
Yeah, dude, that guy is for sure. There it is. All right. Well, let's get back to.
So are we tied right now?
Yeah, I think let's look at the points
Shit.
real quick.
Yeah, as
8-8.
close as it's ever been.
Damn.
Yeah, this is a close one.
You know why? Because they're the same fucking movie.
Yeah. So, man, we've had some good ones. We've had best story, cast, acting, date movie. Which one made you hungrier? Here's a real question. Which movie do you think holds up? Which movie holds up better? What do you mean by holds up movie? Holds up now is like which one makes you feel the same as the first time you saw that movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that I wouldn't say over the top because it definitely didn't make me feel the same when I first watched it as a kid. That's for sure. But that's kind of a disadvantage because of that too.
That's a tough one for me because I just saw Real Steel for the first time. So
yeah.
But so imagine your kids. Like you can still arm wrestle. Like you can still do that. But if your kids grow up and they're fucking 30 and robot wrestling's not a thing, they're gonna be like, this is fucking stupid. You know? Arm wrestling will always be a thing. Like it's been a thing since Roman times.
Robot fighting is never a thing. It's not a thing.
That's what I'm saying. So your kids, like listen to me when we're talking about, like, you know, for us, okay, you know, we don't know because even if you have seen Real Steel, it's not that old yet. But like if your kids grow up and they're grown ups and they're like, there's still no fucking robot wrestling. It's still these, like, you can watch bot fighting and it's like, it's these little fucking Roombas with saws on them. Like, but arm wrestling will always be a thing. And they can relate to that. And it might be a period piece, but they'll relate to it. Because everybody and anybody who exists on this earth has fucking arm wrestled at some point. They might not do it a lot, but everybody has arm wrestled. Nobody has fucking robot wrestled. So I'm going to go over the top.
I'm gonna actually agree with Danielle, who says, I feel like Real Steel got lost in CG mech movies like Pacific Rim and Alita. Not a lot of arm wrestling movies, which would make Over the Top win this one for my choice because I think it'll hold up better unless they come out with a whole bunch of arm wrestling movies. I think when you want to watch something like that, that's what you're going to turn to instead of turning to one of a dozen robot movies. You know, like it might as well be Cylons running around or whatever. And Bobbi says Over the Top also.
Arm wrestling is a lost piece of Americana because of the dominance of John Brzink.
Also, you guys heard about when the lead actor on Pacific Rim got hired? He called his mom and was like, "Mom, I got the Pacific Rim job."
Oh my god!
I've run that.
Hey-o!
I've run that one into the ground.
Oh my god.
I broke Curtis.
My god.
I broke Curtis again. Hey, man, you sound like Cesar Romero, a joker.
Yeah.
You know when a regular joke becomes a dad joke? When the punchline becomes apparent. Burp, burp. Burp, burp. All right now. Okay, let's see.
I haven't voted yet, but
So what do you got?
I'm still a little bit like not entirely sure what holds up means. 'Cause holds up to me is time. What's timeless? What can be timeless?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Which movie's timeless?
But I feel like timeless can be just. I mean,
It can
you don't have to relate to it. You know what I mean? You don't have because like what you were talking about is that you can relate to it, and like several years down the road, if we're not fucking battling robots, then that means that it's not doesn't still hold up. Which to me that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
To
matter.
me, what makes a movie hold up is all of the elements we've already talked about, like the story, the characters, and like if you can just relate to the situation and what the movie's about, and like watch it again down the road and still feel the same way about the movie that you did when you first watched it. Because that was when it comes to Over the Top, I only felt different because I'm older and I understood it more as a grown up. But I still felt the same in the sense of like being excited to watch it and like just loving the fact that it's like a movie with arm wrestling in it. And now it's nostalgia. So it's like, to me.
So which movie do you think is timeless? Since it's the same movie.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. In the year 3000.
In the year
3000. Do you think middle school children will not arm wrestle?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even if they have robots.
But what is that? What is that? Why? What does that have to do with anything, though? You're going back to the point of like,
because we're talking about
we're going to be
timeless.
doing this for the rest of our lives. Therefore, this movie holds up. It's like it has nothing to do with the activity itself. It's the movie.
What are you talking about?
Everything has to do with arm wrestling. Ask John. John.
All life is arm wrestling. No, but
John,
this is a
what
human
do you
activity.
think?
And I'm saying, win or lose, like just. I like it. You doing some of this, Adrian?
Hey.
Right here. That's right. You don't want none of that.
I did it the right way that time.
But
The
I'm
left
saying,
way.
like this is, there's probably been arm wrestling since time immemorial. Before, like like I said, the Romans fucking did it. Like in the year 3000, kids, even if they have fucking robots, they're still gonna be arm wrestling. Like this is never gonna go out of style.
Here's the thing.
However, if your kids grow up and it's 2030 and they're like, we don't know fucking wrestling robots. Like, what is this bullshit? Just like if we tell our kids now to watch Back to the Future, whenever it happened in 2015 or Back to the Future 2, they're like, this is fucking stupid. Like, none of this happened. Like, this is stupid.
Well,
Like,
people in the future might be like, we don't touch strangers' hands.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, there's
We
going to
don't
be
touch
several
each
more
other.
pandemics.
We're like, good.
Yeah,
We're all going to live in
weak ass-
fucking bubbles.
That's how you get ants.
the weak ass motherfuckers might,
You
but
wanna-
the arm wrestling sons of bitches are going to be like, boom, touching hands, boom, wrecking shop. And then they're going to like
Okay.
dominate the world.
Does anybody have a Sandy glove? We're gonna arm wrestle with the Sandy glove.
All right, here's my answer. Okay. I'm going to go with Over the
You're the
Top
best
because
around, unless
because
you
of the
don't
fact
have a Santa
that
glove.
it's already proven to be timeless because of the fact that I watched that movie when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it since then. And I was able to watch it yesterday at age 41. Rewatch it at age 41, and and still love it just as much as I did in the beginning, and actually love it more because I was able to understand it more. So yeah, over the top.
And you can relate because you have kids now.
Exactly.
Which is another
Exactly.
layer. Chris Klink at home says,
they can fucking arm wrestle. They can't fucking fight robots.
speaking of robots, Chris Klink has an important comment. That robot in Rocky was some bullshit. You're
That was
right.
Polly's lover. Don't
You're
talk
right.
shit about Polly's lover. Polly loved that robot. Don't. Polly's gonna get mad.
That's right. And as long as Japan keeps making anime wrestling robots will hold up. But I think mine went to over the top. So we gotta go to the points and give some points now. And this puts Sylvester Stallone in the lead. Did it add the point? I gotta try that again.
It's way closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Way closer. So we're 8 to 9.
It's literally going back and forth.
Yeah, because they're the same movie. Okay, which movie deserves a sequel?
Shit. Real Steel absolutely deserves a sequel.
Yeah.
Over the Top does not.
Or
Over the Top 2 it would be Over the Top
or
2 old.
fucking maybe the kid grows up, becomes a professional arm wrestler too.
No.
And he goes against John Brzozzi.
And he would lose because John Brzink would fucking demolish him.
This is the kid from Over the Top now. I don't want to see this guy arm wrestle. Sorry.
He's like a fat Chandler Bing.
It's not nice. I just he just doesn't look like he turns the switch the hat around into a switch. You know, I'm like I'm out.
You know what would be hilarious if they came out with a sequel for Over the Top, and the kid from Over the Top grew up to fucking arm wrestle robots.
Over the Hill.
Yeah. Just combine the movies.
Over the Bot.
Over the Hill.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Over the Hill.
Yeah.
Overer the Top or Reeler Steel. Yeah, no, real still for sure.
Yeah, because you could see like Adam falling and blah blah blah, and then him developing his own robot. You do all kinds that would be a great sequel. Like it should have happened already.
Danielle says Overer the Top or Reeler Steel.
Overer the Top.
And then also Chris Klink says, dude, Curtis, if Over the Top 2, Over the Hill dropped, you would drop everything and go see it. Damn right you would.
I think we all would.
Well, yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, it doesn't mean it deserves it. Just because I want to see it doesn't mean it deserves it. Like, Real Steel deserves a sequel.
We got Mike Navarrete, who was a guest on the show a couple of weeks ago, is on. What's up, dude? All right, we'll give you you get a party noise. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay. Almost as good as my bike horn. Let's see. Okay, so we got so I guess the winner is Real Steel 2? Reeler Steel?
Yeah.
Reeler.
All
Fuck,
right.
dude.
Man,
back and
now
forth
it's getting
again.
close.
How many more questions are there?
That's for me to know.
Or you could just tell me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So depends who's winning as to how many questions there are.
Depends who's.
Is
this rigged?
If I'm like, hey, I like this winner, I'm all out of questions. There's 2 more questions actually.
Oh shit!
But one of them's mistitled, so if it's a repeat, I'll show you up here. See, that they both say the same thing, but they're different questions, and I don't remember what they are.
No, they don't say the same thing. Fight or flight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I thought it said fight or fight. Okay. Which?
We already did
We
that
already
one.
did that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, those are the same.
Yeah, so fight.
Oh my God.
I think that's supposed to say which one has a better fight scene. Which is stupid, because if you were on a flight and only had one movie, which one would you pick? If you're on a flight and only could watch one of these movies, which of these two movies would you pick?
You're not going to like my answer, only because it's kind of a cop-out. I like to sleep on the plane, so honestly, probably Over the Top, because there's enough dialogue where, like, I can just fucking pass out. So, yeah, I'm going to go Over the Top on that one.
Oh, boy.
That's a good. I never thought of it that way, cheater. But it's a good point. It's a good point. But if I were not asleep on the plane, I would pick Real Steel.
I would pick Real Steel also. And you said Over the Top, Real Steel, and then we got a tiebreaker if we need to. And then Danielle says Xanax, like 2, 3. Yep, you will sleep. Real Steel, according to Bobbi.
Yep.
So, okay, let's look at the points. Over the Top and Curtis Baker and I. I'm just kidding. Clint Baker and I could arm wrestle while watching arm wrestlers arm wrestle. Dude, I back
Yeah.
that. Is CB me or is CB
I'm pretty sure he's
Curtis?
talking about Curtis. It's got to be Curtis. Curtis has been all about the arm wrestling shit.
Yeah. Clint's literally bet on me for arm wrestling. Or Clink's literally. Yeah.
But I've sat next to Chris on a plane before. And we didn't watch Over the Top, but maybe we should have. We watched Deadly Hallows 2 because that's all they had. They didn't have the Deadly Hallows 1. Let's see here. Points. We got that set up. What are we doing? 4. So, what was the
That's
question?
going to Real
What
Steel.
was the question?
Real Steel.
Which
On a
of
flight.
flight? Real Steel. Yeah, it's Real Steel is the winner on that.
So is Real Steel the winner overall?
I don't know. We got to count points here after I add the little robot.
We got one more.
That's it. This is the last one. But if it's a tie,
What?
if it's a tie, we have a tiebreaker.
I'm pretty sure it's Real Steel.
So I gotta see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Dude.
Clink is flipping off the screen right now.
Yeah. Real. Guys, we have a winner. We have a winner. Where'd it go? Trying to find my party noise. My air horn. I got. That's what I need. DJ air horn. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. We have a winner. Nice, says Mel Kennedy. And the winner is.
Real Steel.
Can my question be off the record? Oh, let's ask the question. Let's just do the question now. Tiebreaker if needed. There we go. Which would make a better comic book?
Real Steel.
Yeah, absolutely Real Steel. Because comic book of people arm wrestling would be boring as hell.
Yeah.
You flip the page and they're like this, and then you flip the page and then they're like this, and then you look down the next frame and they're over here. And
can't
then
really have any like
the next frame they're doing this, and then they're doing this.
But we're not talking about a comic book. We're talking about people doing this in real life, and they actually did those fucking arm wrestling matches. No robots. No fucking robots actually fought.
God.
No robots actually punched one another. There was no steel clanging in real life. Okay? But these motherfuckers actually fucking arm wrestled in real life. Like, that's what, like, matters. We can animate whatever you want. You can draw, just talk to Disney. You can draw whatever the fuck you want. Like, but when we're talking about human stories, like, people really did this. This was a real thing. Like, this is still a real thing. Arm wrestling still exists. It's a real world sport. Robot wrestling is not.
But as
Like,
far as
unless you
comic
call
books, as far as comic books go, I'm gonna have to go with Steel.
Yeah.
Steel
Well, yeah,
all
I
day
know.
long
Yeah,
for 100.
you're right. You're right. For sure. Yeah, you're
Clink.
right. But like this.
Clink said you dipshits would vote for new Point Break over original Point Break. Nah, dude. No way.
No way, dude.
I'm just saying, like, what, like, we're talking about what could really happen. Like,
It was so close.
Clink, it was close.
it was very close.
We gave, hey, there were some votes for Over the Top that were surprising. I
should have been
surprised
one that was
myself
like,
with some of my answers.
did it rip off another story? And then minus a point, like, because
Which one is a
like,
better ripoff movie?
Yeah, Real Steel was
Real
fucking,
Steel got
like,
another point.
Real Steel's like a fucking very good movie, but it straight up ripped off Over the Top, and it's like,
And Rocky.
Do you know where Real Steel came from?
Hollywood.
Somebody bought the rights to the game Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Literally, the Real Steel exists because somebody bought the rights to Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the game, and they were like, we have to make a movie out of this because we bought the movie rights for it. And they did. And I bet you they were like, you know what's good? Rocky. Let's fucking redo Rocky. And they're like, no, we can't. Like, that's too much. And then they're like, but you know what else is good? Over the Top. And they're like, yeah, let's just mix those two fucking movies. And bam, there you go. And it's a fucking spectacular achievement. They did great. But I'm not kidding you. That's why Real Steel exists. It's the movie rights to Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Look it up. Like, that's why it exists. Like, and they just straight up ripped off those two good movies. And they did a spectacular fucking rip-off job.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They did.
We have a upset people in the chat. How do you give the win to the one that stole its story?
Because sometimes the stolen stories are the better stories. I'm
You-
It
sorry.
wasn't the question. We didn't have that question.
You just voted for new Point Break. We have to always remind our listeners that we have an interesting grading system, and we have lots of questions. They don't necessarily
Have to respect the question.
They don't necessarily reflect which one is the better movie. That's what makes this stupid show ridiculous and fun. Is you never know who's going to win because we have some dumb questions. Which movie made you hungrier? What the hell does that have to do with what's a better piece of cinema? Nothing. So that's what I like about this, because some of these questions and some of the answers you have to really go fishing for an answer, and to make it logical or to sell it, you really got to read.
No, honestly, I think questions like that make it fair.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Especially
So,
for two movies like this.
So, yeah. So, guys, there you have it. The winner, the superior movie of the two Father's Day movies.
God.
I'm just kidding.
You're making Clink.
Now I'm rubbing it in. The far superior movie out of these two Father's Day classics is Real Steel.
I'm just imagining Chris with his head in his hands right now.
Bah humbug. Awesome, guys.
Go watch Pulling John. If you're disappointed, go watch Pulling John, and you'll be a happy American. Don't worry.
Do it. Go watch my movie. Go watch my documentary. Go watch it. Yes, go watch that. And guys, thanks for tuning in. If anybody was watching us earlier today for the Everything Entertainment News, thanks for checking that out. If you've never watched this show before and you're like, what the hell am I watching? Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and give us a try next week, would you? We'll do better. I promise we'll do better. I'm just kidding. We have fun every week, and I appreciate and want to thank all the patrons, the Patreon people that help support the show. Thank you guys, and thanks everybody who tunes in every Friday and hangs out with us. You guys are our friends, and we appreciate you being here, and you guys make it fun. So as long as you guys keep coming back, we're gonna keep coming back. And Adrian, thank you for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome anytime. Adrian, I've known for years, and I just found out he lives in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like right down the road. So hopefully we get him.
Picked him up off the street.
I
Like,
did.
He saw this guy, and he was like, "Hey, you want to make $5? Come on
Yeah.
in here."
It's like, you got any beer?
Yeah, and Adrian, you stream, right? You wanna plug that while we're at it, just to maybe if anybody. We do have some gamers and stuff in the house that maybe would be interested. And what do you stream, and where do you stream it?
I stream. I'm a fucking child, and I stream Fortnite and Blood Hunt, and I'm gonna start streaming Apex Legends on Facebook. The stream name is Ammo. Just look up Ammo on Facebook. It should come up as a gaming page, gaming content creator. So yeah, that's my
Cool
gaming page.
Badass. And yeah, Bobbi plays video games. I know she loves video. Melissa loves video games.
Nice.
Also, Mia, who has been on with us on who I do answering for a friend. She does Fortnite, so she might be on Twitch. I think she's on Twitch, but yeah, well, cool, man. Curtis, you want to plug your YouTube channel?
Yeah, go to Bakertown on YouTube. We haven't put anything up in a while, but hopefully we will soon. And love you all.
Yeah, and guys, my right up here, that is my Twitter handle, my Instagram handle, and my Facebook page name right up here. The OG Clint Baker. If you have any ideas for, actually, that's wrong. it's the OG Clint Baker, I think.
Oh my god.
Oh my gatos. So if you have any ideas on movies you'd like to see us battle, we're constantly coming up with new stuff. I'm thinking now we might need to do House of Gucci versus something, because Curtis and I were both talking about House of Gucci. Neither one of us saw the movie, so if you got an idea, something that would go good up against that, maybe we'll do that. We've got The King versus Queen coming soon. We're doing that. We got the new King movie, the new Elvis movie coming out. We're gonna put that up against the
Bohemian Rhapsody
movie. So that's gonna be a lot of fun, and we got a lot of other great things coming up. So we might do some new Western stuff here in a minute. Maybe The Unforgiven versus something.
Ooh.
All over the place. But yeah. Boy, I'm just stuttering. Time to go. All right, guys. Love you guys. We will see you guys next time. Thanks again.
Peace out.
And we'll see you soon. Be sure to subscribe. And